Beast. I want to talk about Rapture Dreams. I started getting apocalyptic dreams a while ago, and I dismissed them because last year I went through a fairly traumatic time. People who know me know what happened. I went through a fairly bad divorce, cancer, but I got over it. And at the end of last year, well, I say end of last year, about August last year, I moved into this place, and my fortunes changed, and I've become very settled and very happy here, very contented. I feel like I've come home. Skeptics would probably say these dreams, mental health issues, trauma, drug taking, brain chemicals. Well, I don't take drugs. I like a drink, but I've not been drinking when I've had these dreams. And like I say, I'm settled, so I don't think there's any particular underlying psychological trauma that's messing with me Swede. But I looked up these rapture dreams, these apocalyptic end time dreams, and it seems to be a bit of a thing. I mean, I'm not on social media anymore except YouTube, so I looked it up on there, and it seems to be a bit of a shock because it seems to be a fairly common thing. And my dreams that I've been having, I'm not articulate enough to convey the feeling that they impart. I'm just not. But they feel more than dreams. And if you're somebody who's experienced this, you'll know exactly what I mean. They're like super dreams. It's almost reality. In fact, you can't tell until you wake up. And also in these dreams, it feels as if the reality within the dream is twisted and warped. So Newtonian physics have gone out the window. It feels like reality is a blob of oil on a pool, and then it's been swirled up. So instead of remaining static, it's all weird. So in other words, you put your hand out in front of your face and touch the floor. Never dropped acid, but I would imagine this is what an acid dream would be like. You know, it's perspective changes, concept of time disappears, so time doesn't exist. Like I say, I'm a foundry worker, I'm not a philosopher. I find it difficult to articulate, but it's really peculiar dreams, which is why I'm opening myself up to ridicule filming this, because I'd like to see, I'd like to hear if other people have been getting similar things, and it seems as though they have. But I've had dreams in the past. I've gone out into my parents' back garden, and I've looked to the west, up at the sky, and there's been fireballs coming down, and a sense of dread that we're accelerating towards something inevitable. I've had these years, decade or more. I've had these dreams, but the one I had the other night, which should be on the let's work it out, it'd be the 10th of January 2019. Again, I dreamt I went out into my parents' back garden, and I was compelled to look up to the sky, to the east this time, and hanging there in the sky like a daylight moon was the earth. And I'm looking up at the earth, although I'm actually standing on the earth, but it's hard to explain. But the earth's hanging there, and suddenly it's as if the dream stops being a dream and becomes reality. Called my mum out. My mum couldn't hear me, although I could see her in the kitchen, and I was shouting, "Come and look at this," but I couldn't make myself be heard, although she was only behind a plate of glass, probably 10 or 15 feet away, behind the kitchen window. And then I looked back up at the earth hanging in the sky, and it started to fragment and dry up and collapse and turn to dust. And I'm staggered by this, completely staggered, and the message. I didn't hear any voices or anything like that, but the message was, "Get your house in order. This is nearly it. It's nearly time. Nearly time. Sort yourself out." And as it's fragmenting and collapsing and crumbling in the sky, again, like so, I put my hand out in front of my face, and I could touch the ground on the, although I was standing up at the time, and it was so real but unreal, really bizarre feeling, not like a normal dream, which is why I'm compelled to document it. And it completely threw me, and then I was aware then I was on my own, completely on my own. Nobody could help me, completely isolated. My mum couldn't come out towards me. I couldn't call out to anybody. It was just me and a higher authority. And I realised that this was real. Yeah, there's no going away from this. I can't back away from it. I can't talk my way out of it. I'm being judged, and that was the feeling I got. That again, nothing was said. I didn't hear voices, but the sensation was, we're accelerating towards the end. You're being judged, and I felt at once pulled up and dragged down. So I was in a kind of stasis, in a sort of limbo between the two. And the message again was walloped home to me: get ready and sort yourself out. And it freaked me. Like I say, I'm not particularly religious. I've got faith. I've got trust in God, an higher authority, creative power, whatever you want to call it. I don't go to church. I gave up on. Well, I never went to church, to be honest. But I gave up all believing there was any credibility in the Church of England. With my local church, I had an Elvis impersonator, and I know they've got to raise money. It's important, but when you had an Elvis impersonator and then a Rod Stewart tribute act running up and down, farting about inside place of worship, it completely lost all credibility for me. So yeah, like I say, I don't consider myself. I am a Christian, but I don't consider myself particularly religious. I believe and I've got faith, but I don't take part in organised religion. But this has shaken me to the core, this last dream, simply because of the feeling. It was something I haven't experienced. I've experienced dreams similar, but this one was like I said, it was like it was actually happening, and I'd like to know if other people are having the same kind of thing. Have you had a dream where you've been stuck between being pulled up and pulled down, and you can tell you're on the cusp of being judged? I'm not going to go a lot of flack from this. You expect it, yeah, trolls. It's human nature. They can't help themselves. But if you're genuine, leave me a message. I'd be interested to know. Okay, cheers.